Are you one of the 200,000 people that lost a white collar job last year? Or are you a government employee that is about ready to lose their job? Recent college graduate who's really struggling, or even someone overseas that would love to move to America and have a great job. If you fit in any of these categories, I am going to tell you secrets. I'm going to tell you some secrets how I was able to transition from a toxic teaching job into the hospitality industry in 2 years. Into that process, I'm actually making 50% more and close to 6 figures this year. So I'm going to tell you all the amazing jobs in the hospitality industry and how to get them. I am going to mostly focus on the but if you're interested in these topics, I am Casey Ann Reynolds. I am currently employed in the hospitality industry at a 4-star luxury hotel in downtown Nashville. I am also a behavior change specialist, a health coach, and personal trainer. So I help people to maximize their health, wealth, and happiness. Subscribe, particularly hit that notification bell. I love comments. Yuki is just on the mend. Oh my gosh, she almost died 2 weeks ago. So please watch the video all the way to the end, because the last career I'm going to talk about in hospitality is the best. I love you so much, guys. So appreciate you. So anyhow, my story is that 2 years ago, I had moved to Nashville in 2019. And the end of 2019, it was an eventful year. My house was actually had a lot of ghosts. So I left the house in East Tennessee full of ghosts, because all around the Cherokee and Civil War. And then there was a girl murdered by her husband who was only 21. A lot of ghosts. So it was a traumatic night. It was actually New Year's Eve 2019. And little did I know what I was getting myself into. So packed up the car, one of the cats got lost. I'm sure Lily's just fine. And traveled on to Nashville to start a new life. Boyfriend had already broken up with me. Yeah, he met somebody at the YMCA over coffee. We know how that goes. So anyhow, I was in Nashville. Didn't know my teaching job was going to be at one of the most violent schools in America. Oopsie. I kind of figured that out when the chair was covered with blood when I walked into my classroom. They're like, oh, you're teaching 50 kids. I'm like, 50? Spanish. I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. They're like, well, you'll learn. Yeah, that was that teaching job. Any other teaching jobs just didn't get any better. So I did decide to retire early. Of course, we did have tornadoes, pandemic, and actually Nashville got bombed at the end of the year in 2020. Most people forget about that because of such a traumatic year. And I think it's actually 2 years to the day. I think it was April 4th. I went to a hospitality fair that freaking changed my life. So my life got changed. And so I want to help you, because I watch videos of people who are really on a struggle bus. And so I want to help you to transition and to be as happy as I am. 2 years later, I am almost debt free. I am making more money than I ever have. And now I'm getting ready to just launch my health coaching business. And life is good. Have had a burgeoning economy. So we are definitely blessed with one of the fastest growing economies in the nation. But the cool thing is, you need to watch my last video of how to have your best life after a divorce or a layoff. But we also are blessed with an overabundance of downtown apartments. So most places are giving apartments away for 3 or 4 months rent free. So we do have that just wonderful thing right now going on, where we have so many jobs in hospitality and a lot of relatively inexpensive job growth. 2.9% and 7,000 more. There's about 50,000 more jobs than unemployed people. So I'm going to teach 10 the top 10 jobs that you can apply for even with no experience. Now, I did have experience in hospitality. Third generation, had been doing it 10 years before I started in the corporate world and switched over to teach. Number 1 is a server, host, or barista. So these jobs are plentiful, and in the Nashville area, we have a strange phenomena that people make so much freaking money on Broadway, like $1,000 a night, that they really have a struggle bus trying to get people on the weekends, right? So you have to start at entry level. I know it could be a letdown, but you know what? It's better than using up all of your 401k savings and having to live in your car when you're 70. We'll live in Costa Rica and have an amazing life and put a name tag on and do what I need to do to survive for the next 10 years. But if you don't want to do that, that's your issue, that's your problem. I don't care. You know what? I don't want to live in my car and watch those videos. I do not want to live in my car at 70. I want to live in Costa Rica. So just feel free. I put a name tag on. It was okay. I survived. I'm here. I'm making more money than I ever have in my life. Alrighty, so serving. So generally, like if you have zero serving experience, I would just say you have to be able to be physically active and have a good personality. So as people are a little bit older, we do have a lot going for us. Professionalism, like well-crafted speech, professionalism, showing up to work on time. We also have that work ethic. And that's going to get you really, really far. And also some managerial experience, like you understand people. Like you're not going to cause drama on the team. Typically what you're going to find, obviously you're working with people way younger than you are, and you kind of become the mom or dad to the people that you are working with, and you're a calming influence. And employers really like that. They really do. They need it and they like it. So you may have to start off as a host. The big hotel chains, we got the Hiltons, the Marriott are freaking amazing. You know, you're gonna get benefits right away, better benefits that you had as a white collar employer. If you are a recent college grad, if you're thinking about doing J1, which is a work visa from another country and you're proficient English, you know, Marriott in particular, you get free hotel rooms for the rest of your life after 25 years. I wish I had known that. I would have worked for Marriott all along. So please do not look down on these jobs. I've had a lot of friends disown me because a blue collar employee. I could care less. I'll drag that garbage out at 3 a.m. any day and make a nice figure. Okay, so number 2 is bartending. So that I would definitely say it can be a little bit harder on older friends with all the shaking of the cocktails, but there's lots and lots of different jobs in the bartending. So many different jobs that you can do, and they're all different levels of quality. What is a bartender? A therapist. If you're good at talking to people, if you're funny and have a good sense of humor, you will do well. Number 3, concierge. There are some concierges in the Nashville area that are pushing 90. It is an amazing little career. Front desk does get commission. Again, this is a great starting point if you have no experience in anything else and don't feel familiar. You use so many of your tech skills. You would be amazed how much tech skills that you need to do these jobs. Not so much concierge, but definitely with front desk. And you can easily and quickly move up into valet. Okay, so Bellman, as we get a little bit older, you can make amazing tips because particularly in any sort of big city, it does not have to be Nashville, where you have a lot of super freaking wealthy people. Sometimes they'll just give you $100 tip or even a $500 tip. So that can really make your night. The older you are, the bigger the tips. I know. These are the people that fired you and now they're giving you big tips. Probably guilt tips. But I don't care. I will take the guilt tips. 5 is anything with the alcohol industry. So of course in Tennessee, we're very popular for our Tennessee whiskey. So working in tours, working at a distillery, working at a brewery. You may not have noticed, I did not know this till I moved to Nashville, but like they hire people to do those end caps in a liquor store. So you can get just like a little part-time job. So the neutral. So like you would just go in and set them up and maybe occasionally do a tasting. Very easy peasy job. Also breweries, like if you have a knowledge of the beer, all you're doing is serving beer. The same thing with the wine. You have sommelier. Also you could work, we have Airting Winery. There's an amazing amount of different jobs that you can get in this industry, and we have a lot of distilleries also, and have a really wry sense of humor. And I think older friends have more of that than younger friends. There's so many tours. It's not just the trolley tours, which obviously we know about, but also just like working in a museum, working at a botanical gardens, working at a zoo, whatever you would like to work at. But if you have a sense of humor and there's some tips involved and you're doing a ghost tour and you can make it a little bit more interesting, right? Bring your talent to the table. It's better than once your unemployment benefits run out and you can't find a job. There aren't many other options, right? This may just be a stopgap measure until we can all retire to a nice sunny locale in Portugal or Costa Rica, which is the 2 locations I am thinking about the most. So anyhow, this is what I'm playing piano. So people in Nashville, believe it or not, get tired of country music, particularly older friends. And like, I want to listen to something else besides country. So if you have any talent playing the piano, any talent with acoustic music, any talent with singing jazz, you'd be amazed. Just like a lot of restaurants, everybody has to have live music. So this is a great career if you have any talent in those areas. It's just tips, but again, you could be working something else. Number 8, I never knew about that until I got to Nashville. So if you're in a city, and this applies to any city, where there's a big stadium and we have like, different stadiums. We have an outdoor stadium Ascend, we have Nissan, and then we're building a new Nissan, which is gonna like host a Super Bowl. Yeah. And then we have a soccer stadium, and then we have baseball, and we have basketball. We have all these, right? So anytime you serve at these places, you'll typically make between $300 and $400 a night. Yeah. You just heard me say that, $300 or $400 for a few hours of work. It's easy peasy. And again, the older the person, the more likely you are to get tips. And you can combine this with other jobs. I was not aware of this until I got here, but it's pretty, obviously there are so much conferences and catering and such that comes to Nashville, and weddings, a lot of weddings and bachelorette parties. So if you have a skill for small parties, if you have a skill for photography, if you have a skill for being a florist, there's just an endless amount of careers. You are going to have to kind of get your experience maybe at a Publix, right? But you can quickly move on. Like every hotel, every major hotel needs a florist to come in for those special events or 10. So if you do have tech skills, if you are a sound engineer and such, these conferences, I mean, we had Bitcoin, we've had Donald Trump, we've had it all in Nashville, right? So like, they need a ton of tech support. Again, we're gonna have to start at the bottom. I started at the bottom and I was out of the bottom in 3 months making 6 figures. Don't worry, you'll get out of the bottom. It's okay. It's a start over career. You can't start at the top. But anyhow, there's an amazing amount of tech support that needs to be done for these conferences. So if you have any of those techs, it has changed my life. It will change your life. And just, I hope that this gives you helpful information in the comments below. If there's any other careers you would like to explore, I will be happy to explore them. In the meantime, I am wishing you, friends, peace, love, and joy.